All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into something, well, massive. We're talking about the huge, complex world of heavy industry. You know, sprawling steel plants, giant mining operations. These are places where one tiny slip-up can lead to an absolute disaster. And that brings up a really big question. So let me ask you this, straight up. Imagine you're the one in charge. It's 2 a.m., your phone starts screaming. And it's not good news. It's a potential catastrophe brewing. What's your first move? How do you even begin to get a handle on it? Because the stakes, they are unbelievably high. And when I say high, I mean high. Let's put a number on it. In the world of Indian mining, just one single regulatory slip-up can land you an average fine of 100 lakh rupees. Yeah, that's 1 crore. We're talking well over 100 grand in US dollars. And look, it's not even just about the cash. It's about this incredible constant pressure to get everything perfect 24/7. Okay, let's stop talking hypotheticals and make this super real. I want you to picture this. A steel plant in Jharkhand, India. The time, 2:30 in the morning. And it's not just any night. A heavy monsoon is absolutely hammering down. And then it happens. A critical tailing dam, you know, the thing holding back all that industrial waste, it's been breached. And right now, the clock is ticking fast. Now, in the old days, this exact moment, it would have been pure, unfiltered chaos, panic, phone calls going everywhere. But not here. Here, technology steps in to bring order. So at 2:30 a.m., boom, sensors pick up the breach. Just 5 minutes later, by 2:35, an AI system has already shot an automatic alert straight to the chief compliance officer. And by 2:40, an emergency response team is already on the move, armed with specific high-priority tasks. See, that's not chaos. That's a controlled, almost unbelievably fast reaction. So you're probably wondering, how on earth is that kind of speed even possible? Well, the hero of this story isn't one person. It's not some superstar manager. It's a fully coordinated digital ecosystem. It's technology that jumps in and turns what could be an absolute catastrophe into something manageable. It does this by kicking off a seamless, automated response. You know, the easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of it just like a human body responding to a threat. First up, you've got the brain. That's an AI platform, Compass. It's the one that analyzes all the data, spots the anomaly, and instantly figures out how bad it is. Next, you need the nervous system. That's a workflow platform, CamSure WFM. It acts like nerves, automatically creating and shooting out tasks to exactly the right people. And finally, you need the eyes and hands. That's a mobile app, CamSure app, that guides an engineer, let's call him Amit, on the ground, helping him capture time-stamped, geotagged proof of what's happening. So you see, it's this seamless connection, the brain, the nervous system, and the hands all working together. That's the real magic here. This situation had all the makings of a massive environmental and financial disaster, but instead it was brought under control. The final result? They went from a potential catastrophe to a completely controlled response in less than 90 minutes. Incredible. Okay, so stopping a disaster in its tracks is obviously super impressive. But what if you could do even better? The real game changer here isn't just about reacting faster. It's about preventing the crisis from ever happening to begin with. This is where we see a huge pivot from just responding to a crisis to taking true proactive control. Think about how compliance used to work. For decades, it meant having a team of people, probably buried in some back office, manually digging through these monstrous 500-page regulatory PDFs, just trying to find one single sentence. It was painfully slow, super expensive, and honestly, really easy to get wrong. But what if you could just ask a question? In plain English, this is where something called Juris comes in. And I want you to stop thinking about it like software. Instead, picture an expert librarian, a brilliant one who has read, memorized, and actually understood every single regulation, every permit, every dense legal document there is. And this librarian is on call for you, 24/7, ready to answer any question you have, just like you're having a normal conversation. So now, a site manager out in the field doesn't have to guess anymore. They don't have to wait days for someone in the legal department to get back to them. They can just pull out their phone and ask a direct question. And they get an instant, accurate answer, complete with a link to the exact source document and clause. This completely kills the guesswork. It puts the power in the hands of the people on the ground to make the right call right then and there. You're not just fixing problems, you're preventing them from even starting. Okay, so this is a great story, right? It sounds amazing. But does it actually work? What are the results? Let's switch from the story to the stats, because the data really shows the true power of making that shift from being reactive to being proactive. The results are pretty staggering. First off, a 60% drop in regulatory violations. Just gone. Then, decision-making gets 40% faster across the board. And this next one, if you've ever dealt with an audit, you'll know this is massive. An 80% improvement in audit readiness. We're not talking about small little tweaks here. This is a whole new standard for how these operations can run. So where is all the money being saved? It really comes from a few key areas. Almost half of it, about 45%, comes from just not getting hit with those huge fines we talked about at the beginning. But the rest is just as important. About 35% comes from being way more efficient in day-to-day operations, and another 20% comes from cutting down on all that expensive rework you have to do when things go wrong. And let's just bring this all the way back to the beginning. Remember that crisis? The 2:30 a.m. dam breach in the middle of the monsoon? Well, by responding so fast and so effectively, that company avoided a potential fine of 50 lakh rupees in just that one incident. That's the value of control. That's what happens when you get the right information into the right hands at exactly the right time. So we've just seen how this combination of AI, smart workflows, and mobile tech can literally tame one of the most chaotic environments you can possibly imagine. It really just leaves you with one final question, doesn't it? If we can bring this level of order to heavy industry, what other massive, complex system is next? Think about logistics or healthcare, or even city government. What else are we going to tame tomorrow?